I see you.
What
What up, homie?
what up, man? How you?
Oh man, I'm glad the connection worked right away.
That's dope.
Yes,
That's
sir.
dope.
Yes, sir.
Word.
So
Shit.
so let me ask you a quick question. Is this your first time going live?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
right here
sir.
with Breaking Grounds. Moe Pope
Word.
going live for the first time on the Low Theory, baby.
Word up. Cheers.
Yo, yo, cheers to you, man. Cheers to you. Listen, Mo, first off, man, thank you so much for jumping on the platform. The internet's a scary thing, so thank you for jumping on the live.
No doubt, brother. No doubt, man. Thanks for having me.
Second off, you know, we got a lot of history, bro. We really do go back, so it's good
Yeah.
to see you, man.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do, man. We gotta get you on a mic, bro.
Hey, it's been a while, bro. I'm rusty with it, man. But it's like
Uh,
riding a bike, they say, right?
facts. Facts. If you had it, you always have it. That's the truth.
Nah, that's facts. I haven't penned a rhyme in a minute, but like every now and then, bro, I walk around, I gather lines in my head, and I'm like, damn, I might have to put something together, yo.
Hell yeah, man. You were
You
dope,
know,
man. I
appreciate
remember.
you,
I
brother.
remember, bro. I
I appreciate
remember.
you, man. Let's start it off because you got a long career. You've been in this music thing for I would say over 20 plus years, right?
Yeah.
Um, um, and but there's still people who are not familiar with you, who don't know you. So why don't you just give the people a quick introduction and then we'll dive in.
Okay. I'm from Roxbury, Massachusetts. Grew up at Academy Homes Project, and pretty much I started music, singing, and doing all that stuff like in talent shows and stuff, which led to eventually joining a group, starting a group called Mission back in the day, and that was like in the late '90s. Is when I started, and
We're gonna
then
tap on that. Yep.
that moved to Electric Company, and that moved to Project Move, to
Hmm.
me going solo and working with producers, and then
Yeah.
and all of that work brought me to Still Gold throughout the years. So
I
um,
love how you just aligned everything because I got my questions set up like that as well.
mm,
Let's
well,
dive in. Um, let's talk about Mission because
mm,
you were part of that group, I believe, in California, right?
yeah, yeah.
So I heard you were in a really bad car accident in Cali.
Oh wow, yeah,
I
facts.
do my research, brother. I do my
Uh-huh.
research.
Yeah.
Tell me how that impacted you and your music while you were out there.
Oh, well, first night out, I never really left. Besides going um to visit like family members in Bermuda, I never really left Boston or Roxbury ever. you
Oh
know,
wow.
outside of Massachusetts, I never really went nowhere.
Right.
And but I told my mother I was gonna drive to California. We're gonna start this life. Like, try to, do music. And I had a family that was out that way at that time. So that was also doing music. And basically, first night, less than 24 hours in, less than that, like maybe even just 12 hours in, smacked, like hit by a semi truck, 18-wheeler truck. you know, yeah,
Ooh, for
hit by
real?
18. None of us had our seatbelts on. None of us, great, like, thank God, nobody got hurt. Not one person.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it was the craziest experience ever. And dude hit and run. Dude hit us.
Really?
Yeah, 18-wheeler truck hit us. No seat belts.
And
Car
dipped.
completely totaled and dipped. But the thing is his radiator busted. So he ended up running out of shit. Down the road or whatever. So he
Right,
did get
right.
caught. Whatever. But if I was smarter, you know, I would have fought that dude for some dollars, but
A
honestly,
hundred.
my goal
A
was
hundred.
was to get to California, and I was young, and I
Wow.
was just like, I got stuck and we stayed in Wisconsin for a little bit to try to go through the trials and stuff like that. But after a while, I was just like, I need to get towards my goal, and headed off
Yeah.
into California. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, you know, I do want to preface one thing. On the load theory, we keep it short, sweet, and concise. I would say max 30 minutes. But if we got to
Mm,
go over, not a problem. Because with
mm,
you, right? I know you personally, but I'm like, yo, your catalog is extensive. We could be talking for hours, bro. So
yeah.
we want to try to tap in and knock out a couple of things. So fast forward,
Yeah.
that's crazy, by the way, that story. And thank God you're still here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
man. Thank you.
for real. So then you come back to the bean, and I believe I seriously think I met you around like 05, 06, because
Mm,
that's well, I met Insight around 04. So I feel like I met you a little bit after, because I would come to that crib that he had. I think it was in Roxbury, um,
mm,
and he lived with I think he lived with Raheem. And I would come
mm-hmm.
through and just kind of kick it. But I think I saw you a couple times there.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you get down with the electric company? So the electric company was you, Insight, Anonymous, Raheem, and Dagger, right?
Yep,
How
yep.
did that come to be?
I came back home. I'd been out in California trying to, you know, make it big or whatever, and we made some noise or whatever, but we lost two kind of big deals, like two very big deals, and we ended up signing with a small label, and the label wasn't prepared for what we had, not for nothing, but we left the table, we left uh, a deal on the table from Def Jam
Really?
and
When you were with the
and Def
mission?
Chop. Yeah, with Mission.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, man. It was tough time, man. When we lost those deals, I think it kind of this the wind in my sails let out. So it was like, plus I was homesick. I had a child, home in Boston. So, I had to come home. I felt like that was the move. The band let me know that was the move, and I came back home. And when I came back home, it was like, not doing music, that'll weigh on you after a while. So luckily, I ran into Sight, who I'd known, coming up when I first started rapping. And Sight was like, "Yo, we should just start something." And like, he introduced me to Anonymous and Raheem
Hmm.
and Dagger, and basically, man, I had known Dagger already because he was in this group, Cloak and Dagger, that
Yes.
I loved. I love Cloak and Dagger, and basically, we all hit it off so quickly. It was just like that. And that this was basically Sight's doing, man. Sight was like, these are the pieces. Kind of like he RZA'd that.
Right, right.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I remember the group. It was, yeah, you guys were
Yeah,
killing
man.
it. You guys
We
were
were
killing it,
kids,
man.
man. We were kids, man. I loved that. That was a good time. Good
Yeah,
time, man.
wow. I mean, that you guys were definitely making noise, especially around the city. For those who are not from Massachusetts, if you were in Massachusetts around that time and kind of had your ear to hip hop, you would definitely know the Electric Company and what we're talking about during those times. But then, kind of fast forwarding a little bit,
Mm.
the group broke up.
Yeah,
Um,
after
but then
one record.
another. Yes. And then, I mean, you could talk about that as far as why. I mean, I don't know. You could tell me, but I mean, my question to you is like another group morphed out of that.
Mm.
And it was you, Raheem, and Anonymous, which is three members of the Electric Company minus Dagger and Insight. So
Yeah.
it almost seemed like the same exact formula, but minus two guys. Like, what's the deal with that?
I mean, me, Anonymous, and Raheem, we were like brothers from the beginning.
Mm,
So it always kind of felt segmented anyway. And I love Dagger, I love Insight. Those are my brothers. But we had something. There was something there
mm.
already, and not for nothing, man. Egos, man, and that's partly my fault too. That's what broke up the band Egos. You know, it's like,
Mm,
you can't get, five strong-minded black men together, and
I
not
feel
have
you.
some type of conflict, at some point. And we all still talk. Those dudes are super talented. Um, and I'd never change nothing, man. These dudes helped me be a better MC, not for nothing. Insight, Dagger, man, those dudes, I looked up to those cats. So, but
Right.
we had something. That Project Move just had something special,
Oh my God.
and
Yo, Love Gone Wrong,
yeah, man,
Butterfly Theory. Come on,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
For
yeah. We
those who,
just
again, for those who are listening, that album, the Project Move album that I just said the title of, go and stream it because it is available on streaming platforms and listen to this. This album is ahead of its time.
that's
It
what's
really
up.
is, in my opinion, man. Like you could still bump it in 2022 and still feel good about it. And when did that come out? What year? Oh
Man, that
07?
was like, yeah, something like that.
You know what I mean?
Oh, something like that. Oh 07, oh 06, somewhere around there. It wasn't too
Who,
long after. It wasn't too long after Electric because we were already kind of thinking that we was gonna pod off and do certain things,
mm,
but come back to Electric anyway. But that didn't work. It didn't work out like that.
right.
And then the dude, DJ Braun, uh, basically, he did all the engineering, all the beats, all the cuts, like, you
I
know.
didn't know that. Braun did?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Braun did that,
Salute to
and like,
Braun,
yo,
man.
it was such a wonderful time, man. We would go there, and his pops would be popping
What?
in the corner.
What?
His pops like old dude, he'd be popping in the corner, man. Oh, it's so dope, man. It's
Oh,
nasty
that's
dancer.
crazy, man. That's dope.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. And then yeah, and we all lived together, man. Like me, Raheem, and Mike, and we was young, just learning from each other and becoming better MCs, during that time. So, but again, egos are
Yeah. Hey,
egos to do it,
I'm sure that
just
like
being
look,
young, man, being young and
yeah,
not letting shit roll off your back,
right.
and
So,
that's partly my fault.
I'm sure looking back at it, everything happens for a reason. These are
Absolutely.
lessons learned. You learn from them, and now it probably made you a better person just dealing with those issues. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but we never stopped. Not we never stopped talking.
That's
That's
dope.
the There was never a
Those are
point when
and all
you
those
know.
dudes are the homies, great guys,
Oh
all of
yeah,
them.
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
All those guys. But okay, so I got a random question because this is what I kind of do too. I kind of sprinkle in a random question here and there.
Word
Um,
up.
all right, so what do these people all have in common? You ready?
Mm. Yup, spit
Uh,
it.
Snoop Dogg and Dre,
Mm.
Drake and 40,
Yup.
Guru and Premier.
These are greatest producer MC combos, bro.
Exactly.
In my opinion.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Now, that leads me to this. Moe Pope and Rain, Moe Pope and Hypnotic, Moe Pope and Lightfoot. What is it with you when you graduate like you just you go towards working with just one producer? Like what's up with that? Tell me the formula.
Man, I watched so many dope MCs be able to like switch gears. I've
Mm-hmm.
watched
Mm-hmm.
Oompa. Oompa's really good at
Mm-hmm.
it. Dutch,
Mm-hmm. Salute
Rebel,
Dutch.
really good at it. To be able to like, I take a few from this producer and literally curate their album, to make it what they want, you know. And I've just always been better at focusing on one sound and letting someone see a full thing through. Like, uh, us working on, because I need, sometimes I need inspiration in a different way, and I also don't like to do the same thing twice. For a long time, that was what really fueled it. Is like I don't want to do the same thing twice. What I did with Rain on uh, Life After God,
Great
I kind
album.
of did something completely different with Let the Right Ones In.
Hmm.
And that could be a detriment and that could be a facet. Like, I don't look back on my career and say, damn, I shouldn't have done that, or I should have did this differently. I'm kind of proud of when I listen back to songs that were 10 years ago and even 15 years ago, and I
Yeah.
don't think that everyone could say that,
Right.
but, uh, but I love when an MC can navigate that field. I just wasn't creative enough to do that. I needed like to I needed someone to help me focus down the thing. You,
And
you know.
you're saying that field when like when MCs just grab a bunch of different producers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha,
I
gotcha.
just I was never good at that. Like, I
Right.
just felt like that was a lot more work than I could do that. And I know that probably on the flip, somebody would say it would be a lot more work for me to work with just one person, you
Right.
know, because they might not have all of the sounds that they want to create. But for me, I just kind of believed in the person that they would get there. They would they'd make that sound, whatever
Yeah.
sound I was looking for, they'd get there, you know.
Right. Right. Life. What was it? Life After God.
Life After God, yeah.
Yeah, that album's nice, man. I was actually just going back and listening to it. That's a good album, man.
That's what's up, brother,
That's a
man.
good album.
It's funny, man, because I was gonna quit before I
After
met
that,
Rain. I was gonna quit
oh,
before that.
really?
Yeah, yeah. After
Because that
the
came after
megaphone.
Project, right? Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
after
right. Yeah,
megaphone, I was like,
yeah.
I was gonna quit music completely, and
What? Why though? Why? What happened?
I don't know, man. I kind of had this like thing in my head of what an MC had to be, man, and like I was trying to settle down in life, and raise my kids, my
Right, right.
wife, it's like trying to. Uh, I had a thing in my head of what an MC had to be,
Yeah.
and I wasn't inspired either to write,
Mm.
and I met Rain, and I just fell right back into it, like this dude opened up something, and like I think about that because I've done so many records since then. But
Oh,
I think
definitely.
about like what if I had stopped,
Yeah.
or whatever, So yeah, man, I'm lucky to be making music still. I know that
Word.
that's not what a lot of people get to do, with their life. So
Absolutely, man. You're right about that for sure. I remember bumping into Rain a couple times, like when I was in Boston on the Orange
mm,
Line, Blue Line, like always bumping into cool dude. Now listen,
mm,
man. You've opened up for a lot of mega stars, a lot
mm,
of big acts,
yeah.
famous musicians. Who was like the most coolest person you met, and who were you like most nervous to meet?
Oh man, the coolest that I met probably Sean Price.
Oh man, rest in peace.
Sean Price
Really?
was like, oh man, like the coolest cat, man. He just basically, you would think he would be a certain way, and like we ended up talking all night. Like I met him, I was with that dude for the duration of the night, and like
That's dope.
he saw our set, and he commented on it, and he said, we might fuck around and work together, and
Oh
um, and
shoot.
I was like, bro, I was like, come on, I was like, don't say that, because I'll
Right.
tear up. I'll tear
Right.
up.
Right.
But
Right.
I told him I was gonna see that through, and then unfortunately it didn't. He had passed before then, and but I found a way. I found a way to make it happen, though. I found a way to have his voice on some. So,
I
yeah.
was gonna say that. And you had Helter, right? From Helter
Yeah,
Skelter,
I had
didn't
Helter
you?
Skelter. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Had Helter Skelter at Sean Price and
Right.
Rock.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, bro. Yeah, that's dope. Who were you most nervous to meet?
Who's I most nervous to meet? Wow.
Black Thought.
Uh, Black Thought. Yeah, that's actually a good one.
He's a
That's actually a good one. I was
top five.
I definitely was nervous to meet Black Thought, and he's my. I mean, I have two favorite MCs that kind of sit at the top, and he's definitely one. And you know, but he didn't. But he made me feel comfortable. Black Thought made me feel comfortable. you
I
know,
like that. I like that.
you know, he didn't make me feel like I was like just like this fan guy. You know, which I definitely was. you know,
Right,
so.
right, right, right. No, I feel you. I understand,
Mm,
man. So, let's switch gears. So,
mm,
you touched on something earlier that I want to touch on. So, I feel like one of your skills when we were talking about working with one producer, but one of your skills is kind of not staying in the box. You're constantly switching these lanes. You know what I mean? You
mm,
don't stay one direction. Even though you work with one producer, but each one has this unique sound, and then each album that you have is unique in its own way as well because of what you do when you work with these producers. So um, that brings me to Still Gold,
mm.
um, live band. They're all unique. Like, what's the chemistry with the band? How did that come to be with you and Still Gold?
Um, I had a drummer, Max McVitie, who played drums with Mission back in the day,
Mhm.
and he just hits me out the blue and was like, "Yo, you ever heard of this dude Archetype?" Like, you know, and I was like, "Nah, never heard of him." And he's like, "You should really fuck with him." Like, I gave him like some drum packets that he could chop up, and like, you know, his beats are amazing. I think you'd hit it off with him. And like, not for nothing, Max, like my brother, you know. So, you know, if your brother recommends somebody, you kind of
Right.
you look into it, and it just so happens that we had ended up being in the same room only like a week later from when I first heard his name, and let the
Oh,
right ones in record, me
Mo,
and
you
Rain.
can't you
Oh, damn!
repeat that because you kind of froze up a little
Can
bit.
you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. So
Can, okay, word.
you said that you were with
So
him like a week later.
yeah, I was with him like a week later, and long story short, basically, me and Rain were finishing up the Let the Right Ones In, and he engineered the album. He mixed the album down, and from there we got to chop it up, and we realized we kind of would like to work together, and we just, man, it was just a different experience. So that experience, I try to go to where um, my heart takes me. You know, it's like this dude, we got along well, and I just felt like it was the right thing to do, and not for nothing, it was. You know, it was in my opinion. You know.
I agree, and everybody who's listening, I mean, they agree too, man. Still Gold is an amazing group.
Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, brother.
For real, absolutely, man. How would you compare the album Torch Song to the New Normal?
Um, Towards song, we had just kind of settled in on what our sound would be and what really mattered to us. You know, um, we were fumbling around with my Monday morning music, just trying to figure out what our sound was. You know, what do we want to do? So we made that, and then Torch Song was like the first time that we was like, all right, this is it. This is what we do together. You know,
Mhm.
and then the new normal was like basically, in my opinion, that's we knew what we wanted to do going in versus Torch Song. We had just
Kind of
got there.
experimenting.
Yeah, we had just got there. We just got to like this is our sound. Whereas like new normal is like I know what our sound is. Like I know what it is, and I can just like create freely. And the good thing about Arc Man is he doesn't shut down ideas, you know, and he's always down to try something new. Like we have you know, fucking harp, mouth harp player on a
Crazy.
song. We got blues guitar, we have trumpets, we have strings, we have like, he's just trying to we're trying to do something different. Like, and it's like you might not like it today. Maybe you'll like it 5 years from now. Maybe it's something that you delve into 5 years from now and you say, hey, these guys was all right. Like,
Yeah.
so we put a lot of work into it, and yeah, this is what it is, man. I'm glad I met that dude. Like Art, man, like that dude quickly became my brother, like quickly. And it's been years now, and I can't even imagine what it would be like not knowing that dude, So
That's dope. That's dope. Um, but how did the other members come to be? Because you have I
oh
forgot dude's
man.
name, the drummer.
Yep,
You got
that's
you got
that's John Oman. We got
yes,
my man
he's a
Tim
beast.
Hall. We got
Tim Hall,
Chris
the
Talk.
sax, right?
Yep, yep, Chris
Like
talking. Yeah,
yeah. Oh
man.
yeah, shout out man, shout out to Chris, man.
Yeah, man.
For
Chris,
real.
I've known Chris since I was a kid.
Word. He's
So
always been around you, man.
yeah, man. It's been wonderful knowing that brother, man. He's such a different dude now than when we was kids. Thank goodness. So, you know, so and Tim I met through just the music scene. In Boston, this brother is like one of the most talented cats. Is spoken word writer, keyboard player, sax player. John, I've known for years when I was in Mission. John
Mm,
Ullman, the drummer, um, uh, and yeah, man, like we just all need each other, like not for
for
nothing,
sure.
you
For
know.
sure. This wasn't even in my notes, but I just got a question. So, I mean, you guys are making a lot of noise, still gold. Uh, is it all indie, or are you guys signed to somebody?
It's all independent, for the most part. I mean,
Who's the
our label
distributor?
our
TuneCore?
label is AR Classic, and then our distributor is, man, I can't remember. I'm getting old, bro.
Okay. No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just super curious because like it just
But we do
for
we
all the
do essentially everything ourselves, man. Like for the most part, you know. So
I'm just saying,
some
and you guys are making a living off of music. For the
Yeah, man.
artists who are listening, who are trying to come up, um, just goes to show you that I've said this many episodes, but you don't need to get signed to a major label nowadays. It's everything's in the palm of your hands. You can do things yourself, in order to get this paper. You
Yeah,
know,
they're kind of irrelevant now, man. Especially now because it's like it's on a number uh thing. Like, it's like basically what are your numbers, versus
like
this
streaming
person has,
numbers.
yeah, what are your numbers? What are you streaming, your sales, whatever, versus what is your talent? What is does your talent can
Yeah,
your
it's kind of
talent,
crazy.
it's such a
You're
weird
right.
time, but we also, like, we're seeing in my opinion, the fruits of that, isn't coming back in the same way. It's like people would spend time on records and it'll be the highest of quality, and then 10 years down the line, you know, um, you'd still want to listen to those records. Music is
Yeah,
kind of disposable now. It's still dope. Don't get me wrong. There's lots of dope
but it's
artists
just
out
hard
there.
to find because there's just so
Yeah,
many people putting out music.
it's harder to find. Yeah,
You
for sure.
really have to keep an ear to the ground and really tap into that good music because you're right. You got to kind of weed yourself through the other stuff.
Absolutely. But I'm definitely not one of these disgruntled old heads, man. Like I am an old head, but
I was
but
just
I'm
gonna.
not. I love
That
I
was my
love
next question, bro. Like, what are you listening to now?
man, so
Who you
much,
tapped
man. I
into?
So much because I also listen to lots of other music, so it's like it's tough. But if you're talking about MCs, like, or hip hop, just
Let
in hip hop,
Let's go hip hop. Let's go hip hop.
um I would say right now. I really love that last Nas record, the last two Nas records, really. Amazing.
The King's Disease
Yup, King's Disease. I love
with
Pop
Hit Boy.
Smoke. Yup,
Oh,
Pop Smoke.
word. Pop Smoke.
Um,
Yep.
uh, Rest in peace.
Hmm.
Corday.
Oh
Really
yeah,
like
yeah,
Corday.
yeah, yeah. That last album was
Oh
nice.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I jump around a lot. Like I still think that Griselda, like a lot of the Griselda stuff,
Yeah, those guys.
but it's tough because I go back to old shit. I look for new stuff. I try to stay up on what's happening in the world. I am a guy that likes Drake. I know a lot of people don't like Drake, but I do like
Nah,
Drake.
nah. He's one of the most talented, man.
I think Kendrick's one of the greatest MCs of all time, you know, and I can't wait for him to put out something too,
I'm right
but
there
yeah,
with you.
yeah,
Yeah, can't wait for that Kendrick, man. Yo, Mo, listen, man. You gotta sip a little bit faster because our time's about up, bro.
word up, bro.
I want you to just tell everybody, all your fans who are in here right now and who will be listening in the future, what you got going on next. For those who are not hip, where can they follow you? Where can they find your music?
Music's on every platform, everything. It's everywhere. So if you look up Moe Pope, you'll find Still Gold, you'll find Mission Electric Company and all that. We got some new music is brewing, and can't wait for y'all to hear what we've been doing. So that's what's up. But
Word.
definitely look up Still Gold, STL GLD. All right.
Yo, for the new album, since you're working on it, make sure you mention the low theory, okay? Just kind of sprinkle that in the lyrics.
Absolutely, I'll do that. You think I won't?
My guy, listen, you guys heard it right here. Man, Mo, listen, man, we could talk for hours, brother. I appreciate you jumping on, man. I don't want to take up more of your time, bro.
Appreciate you,
It's,
fam.
it's it's good seeing you, brother.
Good seeing you.
All right, bro. Take care.
Take care, brother.
Peace.
Peace.